I have my bag ready to go now at home all the time, and generally in the van, but it's always ready at home. Swimming costume, swim socks are new. Then I just add a flask and maybe a snack.
During the war, you couldn't buy swimming things. Mothers would unrip whatever cardigan or jumper you had and wash it and wind it, and we got knitted swimming suits.
Sometimes if I've forgotten my stuff, I will just, much to my children's old embarrassment, just go in your pants, you know, if you've got a blanket or something, because yeah, I think it does become a need. I think it does become an addiction for people just because it makes you feel so good.
We swam all year round, went in nearly every day, I think. I don't like swimming in a swimming pool because I felt like a goldfish in a bowl.
I've never really had that, even in cold water, thinking, do I, don't I? I don't really have that sense of, oh, this is going to be cold. I just know that it's going to make me feel better afterwards.
There's something about getting changed on a beach in the winter. I love it. It's like, and I'm in my swimming costume now standing on a beach and it's freezing, but I'm going to get in there. It's quite empowering.
You get on the beach and then it feels colder than it did. First of all, I always go on my back and just float on my back because that's easier. If it's very, very cold, I'll say no longer than the count of 30 and then I stand up again. If it's not so cold, then I'll just gradually turn over and start swimming, especially if it's what you call a swimming pool sea. I don't dive into waves and anything. I'm just very, very pedestrian in a way. I just love swimming along.
I don't go out very far. I'm not a massively strong swimmer, but I like the feeling of just being in the water, and I'm more than happy to just get in a really shallow rock pool and float in it as well. It is literally about being in another element and feeling it.
I like swimming in the rain. You're going to get wet anyway, so matter to it.
I am somebody who has to put their head under most times, even in freezing cold. It's just that sense of freedom, really, and like you're in a bit of a different world.
Every swim is different, and that kind of punctuates your memory. I had a really special swim. We saw a shark fin, and it looked like another shark fin, and then we realised it was a basking shark, and it was the fin and the tail. And it felt really close. I mean, it wasn't that close, but it's their world. They can move quite quickly in the water. And I was like, there's a shark, should I be scared? But somehow it felt so magical. It felt really special. And to have that respect for the water and for that world, I think is really important. And there is a sense of, you know, keeping a little bit of your survival instinct there, which I think we don't necessarily tune into that much.
Sometimes you've got seabirds, diving birds, very near to you quite often. And this year we've had seals. We had 17 seals, which usually we just get the odd one. We call it Sammy, but it's probably a different seal every time. So, and they smell, don't they? They really smell. So.
You're just really present, I think, with what you're doing. You're not thinking about the shopping or about, you know, a Zoom meeting later on or anything. My youngest, so he was diagnosed with autism when he was 4. I think the reset that the sea swimming gives you is what's made it more of a need, if you like.
During the war, we used to go to Marazion Beach, and it's all this crisscross stuff. We cheated and we walked through it. You're not meant to. They've probably laid mines there. We're just going for a swim. Yeah, we didn't care. We didn't know any different.
I don't like it when it gets really warm. We had a heat wave, I think it was a couple of years ago, and in August, and it just started to get a bit warm, and I kept on having to dive down to the bottom to try and feel where it was a little bit colder.
I love kicking up the water at the edge of the sea and making that sort of exhilarating spray So I always do that as I come out. Of course, by then you're invigorated and you don't notice the wind. And why did I think it was cold before? You know.
You don't ever regret a swim. You know, it always makes you feel better, no matter what time of year.
I love the magic of feeling like I've done it. The sense of achievement of having embraced the cold and done something that's quite difficult.
I run up the beach, however far it is, back to my clothes, and I exactly know how to get dressed. It takes a matter of moments, really, and I'm not at all embarrassed or shy, you know, about if your knickers get stuck or something like that.
I love the way your skin might smell differently, that sort of salty, seaweedy, magical sea smell. Then the rest of the day I'm like, oh yeah, I went in the sea. It's like a little secret.